So for the last 2 days, conditions were not great for northward travel on the Chesapeake. For the first of those 2 days, we did actually attempt it, and it was pretty unpleasant, but we at least got up to Deltaville. Yesterday, instead of proceeding, we just decided to enjoy a peaceful anchorage and a day in Deltaville, and that was really nice. It was good to have a day off from travel and to check out a new town. Today we've got some distance to make up, and the good news is that conditions have become more favorable. There's not going to be a whole lot of wind, but at least we're not going to be pounding up into waves, wind and current all at once. So we've got a long way to go. We're getting up a little earlier than usual. The sun has not yet risen, and yeah, we've got to make some progress.
So good morning, folks. We're leaving Deltaville, Virginia now, headed up to points north on the Chesapeake. So one thing we do, I'm going to go and get something to eat. So I'll be handing over the controls to David. So it's important that I let him know what's going on, what I see, so that he has a good idea what to expect and keep our situational awareness. So, for example, the first thing, I'll just let them know where we are. We're out of Deltaville. We're heading 070. Our next waypoint's in 20 minutes at 2.5 miles. I'll give them a visual reference. We're going to make our turn after 2 Romeo. It's a red over here. I can actually see it. And then I'll just tell them if there's any ships. I don't see any ships. There is one way out there, but it's stopped. So that's about it.
Do you want to have the honor of the magic moment and kill the engine?
Oh, sure. That's in neutral.
Yep. And there we go. Truly sailing. Okay, we got the sails trimmed pretty well. What's our apparent wind angle?
9-0.
90. And what's the true wind speed right now?
12.4.
12.4. And what's our speed through water?
7.4.
7.4. That's nice. That's an entertaining speed on whitetail. Thank you, Dan. Our course has taken us a little more close hauled, and we've got a nice 7.5 knots speed through water. So just feels really great to have the boat just so well adjusted and feeling happy. The wind has freshened to 14 knots, and we're getting 8.0, 8.1, 8.2 SCW, so that feels just terrific, and will help us get to our destination in a reasonable amount of time. It was John Neal of Mahina Offshore Services who put us onto the Beneteau 423. When we were looking at buying a boat, this wasn't even on our list. He clued us into what a great boat it can be and how low the total cost of ownership can be compared to other vessels. I'm super glad that we got in touch with him, and that's thanks to Dan. I'm super glad we got in touch with him and listened to his advice. It was well worth paying for his advice, because this boat is just so much more fun. It gets out of its own way. We can make good progress without needing tons and tons of wind. It's a lot of fun, a Beneteau 423, and I'm glad we went this way. Chesapeake Bay covers a vast area, and a lot of it is unspoiled natural beauty. There are also some commercial installations though, such as this one. And there's Cove Point Light, a familiar landmark for anyone who goes to Solomon's in the Chesapeake. Well, it's been a long day. It's about 12 hours since we got up and started the engine and so on. We're coming into Fairhaven. Our intended anchorage for tonight should give us protection from south and southeast winds. Southwest. I better get back to helping to pilot. Well, it was a long day, but we've made it to Herrington in Maryland. Our trip tomorrow to Annapolis should be short and straightforward from such a close point as this, so that's great. That was our main priority. It was a long and tiring day, but it was exciting too. We had both sails fully out and the engine off for an extended period, seeing 7 knots, 7.5 knots, as much as 8.2 knots. So it was exhilarating as well. I will sleep well tonight.